just ordered tacos, and I want to talk about today why I decided to leave the Mormon church. Let me give you the story time. So we have tacos, beans and rice. I got a chicken taco, I got an asada, and I got two pastor. Got their hot sauce. Oh, so good. As I've mentioned before, I went on a Mormon mission when I was 19 years old. This was back in 2017. I left in October of 2017, and then all of 2018, I was on my mission. I got home in May of 2019. By September of 2019, I had left the church. I got home from my mission and I immediately moved to Utah with my dad because one thing that I was so afraid of was leaving the church because that's normal. A lot of people go on a mission and then they come home and they don't go back to church. Even before I left the church, I always likened going on a mission to growing up eating hot dogs, and then one day you go to a hot dog making factory and you're like, oh my God, this is how they make hot dogs. And you're kind of scarred and can never touch a hot dog again. I even talked about that at the very beginning before I made the choice to leave the church. When I got home, I was really anxious to find a person and get married and just square away my life like that and never have to use my mind again. Mind you, on my mission, as I'm converting and baptizing people, I had some really dark days where I was just I can't keep doing this, but I'm so scared to go home. And I also really liked the validation I got from teaching people. I had so many nights in my missionary bed where I would just cry myself to sleep and pray and pray and pray, God, if you're real, if this church is true, give me an undeniable witness. I can't keep doing this unless I absolutely know, because I say I know all day long. Deep down, I just had doubts. Fast forward to me being home. This is June. I get a job. I'm living with my dad. I'm going to church every Sunday, going to singles ward, trying to make friends. I'm even going to the activities. Girl, I had no friends. Going to the activities, going to the singles ward. I'm just feeling numb inside. I'm just waiting for my magical man to come down, and all these fucking men in my singles ward were such dweebs. I was where are the men? Going to the temple, I'm reading my scriptures, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I'm just waiting for my life to feel like life. Everything was normal. Then fast forward to September of 2019. It's my 21st birthday. Let's try the asada. I'm so excited. Their asada sometimes is chewy. It's my 21st birthday, and I'm just feeling life is so boring and stagnant, and I'm just where are my promised blessings? I did the mission, I'm doing everything, and not to sound like a spoiled brat, but where are all the promised blessings that you said I'm gonna have? Genuinely, the church is just not making me feel happy at all. I'm just miserable, making myself go at this point out of fear of missing out on blessings and out of fear of all the things that come with change in life, all the big things. And wouldn't you know, my 21st birthday lands on a Sunday. I was living with my dad and my stepmom, and my stepmom was joking. She was do you want to drink alcohol on your birthday? Obviously knowing I'm going to say no. And I was no, of course. She's okay, I'll get you non-alcoholic champagne. I was thanks. Deep down, I'm what am I doing this for? I feel I'm missing out on life. I feel I'm a grandma at the age of 21. What the fuck am I doing? So it's Sunday. I get ready for church. It's my birthday. I go out to my singles ward every other Sunday. I go in. I go to sacrament meeting. Sacrament meeting is where the whole congregation's in one room, and we have a service. We sing hymns. There's speakers. And then the second and used to be third hour, we split into classrooms and by age and sometimes gender. I get to the first hour and my soul was not in my body. I just was not there. I was so dissociated that whole meeting. And I'm just looking around and I feel nothing. And I'm willing myself to feel the spirit. I feel absolutely nothing here. The first hour wraps, and I usually always go to class, go to everything, and I just go to my car mindlessly. I felt like a zombie. I'm what am I doing? Leave the building. I go sit in my car and I'm just okay, that's not the worst thing in the world to miss. Whatever, it's my birthday. Before you know it, I'm driving. Looking back now, I'm I was kind of having a, let's see what you can do off with God. And so I drive to a store, and Mormons are not allowed to shop on Sundays. That's breaking the Sabbath. It's a big no-no. And I just walk around this store, just looking. I don't buy anything. I'm just walking around. I'm just because they always talk about in the church, the spirit, and how the spirit will tell you when something's wrong. The spirit will tell you when something's good, discernment, whatever. And in my patriarchal blessing, it said I had a special gift of discernment, right? Nothing. There's nothing. I feel absolutely nothing. I'm what the fuck is going on? And mind you, it's my 21st birthday. So I go to the alcohol aisle in the store too. And I'm I pick up alcohol. I pick it up, hold it in my hand. Nothing. I was as if I was holding a bag of diapers. Absolutely nothing. I drove around for quite some time because I was just waiting for something. I was looking for some kind of sign because I was I'm really not fucking with this anymore. I eventually drive home because I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'll just go home. I get there and like my stepmom opens up the bottle of fake champagne and I'm starting to feel like, And she was like not active at the time, I'm pretty sure. So I felt kind of comfortable confiding in her about this because not only was she not active, but she was like super just like open about religious discourse. It wasn't taboo for her. Which everyone else in my life, it was like so taboo. It's like either all or nothing. They're very, very strong opinionated. I think later in that week, they decided to take me and my cousin out to dinner in the city. And we went to like a bodega. And that day I was just like, I think I want to drink. This was like, I think a few days later. I was like, I think I want to drink. Like, I think I'm just going to do it. And my stepmom was like very like, okay. Like she did not have like a big reaction. She was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? She's like, I think it's bad if you think it's bad. But like, if you don't think it's bad, then I think it's fine. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. And so we go to this bodega. I don't know what came over me. I was just feeling really brave. And I decided to just like have a normal night. And like, we drank. I drank. Ooh, like I was wearing garments and I drank. Like I was one of those, you guys, I guess. And it was one of the greatest nights of my life. I just felt so free. And what's so funny is like in the church, people would hear this and they'd be like, that's the devil. That's the sin. Sin feels so great, doesn't it? They just want to go out and sin. Baby, no. I wanted nothing more than this church to be true. But that was also like my test. Like I was like, okay, is the world going to end in flames? Am I going to like lose my job? Like where is the big consequence or where is that like feeling of like ick from the spirit? Nothing. I never felt better. I had realized how unhappy I was in the church once I felt how great it was to just like live the way I wanted to without the church. I was like, oh my gosh, like why was I being in this miserable? That Sunday on my birthday was the last time I ever went to church. That's the last time I've ever been because I was just like, I never want to feel this way ever again. I never want to feel so trapped and limited ever again. But I wore garments for a while because like the garment ceremony, like when you promise to do shit and then get garments, that was scary shit. They made me feel like these garments were like voodoo. Like I was so scared to take my garments off. But then I got my own apartment in December. And I remember like at that time I had really sat with how I felt and I was seeing a Mormon therapist. Like I was really deconstructing. I was really figuring my shit out. I had like dated this guy very briefly and did some stuff with him. Like a lot had gone down. And I was just like really settled into it. And then at that point I started feeling angry. I started feeling so angry at the years I had wasted, all the time I spent on my mission. I was going through all of my missionary journals and just like how unhappy I was and how tortured I was. And then I just started feeling angry and I had a box of all my missionary stuff, like all my letters, everything, all my garments. And I literally just like something came over me. I took all my garments off, put them in this box, my scriptures that I had highlights and bookmarks, like my engraved, everything, like everything Mormon. I put it in a box and I threw it in the dumpster behind my apartment. I was so angry, and at that moment, I never looked back. Of course, I've had years now of deconstructing, but yeah, I guess that's the story of me leaving the church. I don't know. That was it.